Okay, so today we're gonna make battered shrimp. Okay, so you have your 3 bowls. Your 3 bowls for battering something is as follows. You start off with white all-purpose flour. Okay, just don't have to measure. This is about half cup white all-purpose flour. The middle one will be the egg wash, and then this last one will be breadcrumbs. So the breadcrumbs, plain breadcrumbs. Just drop in a bit like that. Okay, a little more maybe. It's about half a cup, 3/4 of a cup. Take the eggs, probably about 2 eggs. Don't know why that egg took so long to open up. 2 eggs should do. Okay. Take a fork and you beat the eggs. A little bit of pepper. Put it into your flour. A little bit of salt. Throw it into your flour. That'll just give it some more flavor, more depth of flavor. This is dried parsley flakes. Throw in some of that. This is oregano, combination of Italian seasonings. If you want, you could put a little bit of garlic powder, a little bit of paprika. This is all optional, but I just do this to give the food some kick. Just mix it around a little bit. Same with the flour, give that a stir. Then I buy from the frozen food aisle, I buy these shrimps. They're raw. I buy this all the time. It's actually quick to thaw, very quick to thaw. You could even thaw it out even quicker if you run it under some tap water. Just have a bowl for a catch, because you want to catch the peels in any bowl. You're gonna throw it in the trash. So these might have a little bit of snow still left on them from the freezer. Take the whole thing out. Now, oh yeah. You could run this under regular tap water just to bring them to room temperature. These are not really, they're not room temperature yet. These are more like cold from the fridge. Okay, there's our orderly. So we're gonna just press on these, take off the peel. Okay, easiest way to take off the peel. Actually, just 1 second. That's peeled. The easiest way to take off the peel is you just squeeze it at the legs, the under bit of the shrimp, and then just peel it off completely. Then you pinch off the tail, 1 and 2. That comes off. Everything else comes off super easy. Again, it's already pre-cut for you from the factory. They do these cuts on the back of the shrimp. Pull it forward, pinch it at all the legs. Take the tail. Pull it. Okay, you have these pre-cuts at the back. Pull it forward, pinch the legs. Pull it off like that. It comes off so easy, like super easy. The tail, you want to pinch it from the tippy end of the tail. And as you're doing it, as you're handling them, they're becoming more and more, like they're thawing out more and more. Okay, so we've peeled all our shrimp. I'm using some paper towels now, just to keep the countertop dry, and we want to now have the shrimp as patted down dry as we possibly can. So they were wet, right? Because as I continue to handle them, they're thawing out in your hand, and they're just wet because of the residual bits of ice chips that was on them. So I just make a conscious effort to pat them down dry with some clean paper towels. Give them a little cozy. They're in a napkin cozy, right? To stay dry. They are ready to get battered. Doesn't have to be so, you know, we don't have to be so rigid and so tough on ourselves. See, look all the moisture that came off the napkin. Throw this out. Take a little bit more of our salt. Just salt them lightly. This isn't really much for flavor. This is literally to dehydrate them just a little bit more. Here's the process. It's flour, egg, and crumbs. And we're gonna lay them here as they're done. Okay. Shrimp 1. Give it a nice pat down. Throw our buddy in. Let's do 3 or 4. Throw our buddy in here. Cover them up. What do we do? 3, 4. Let's do 4 at a time. Well, let's do a 5th one. 5, 6. Yeah, let's do 6. Okay. Throw it. We coat them in flour. Throw that guy in there. Shake this guy off. Throw them in there. Now they're having an egg bath. One helps the other helps the other. The flour helps the egg stick to the shrimp, and then the egg helps the crumb stick to the shrimp. From their egg wash, put them into the crumbs. Throw them in there. 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay. Throw them in there. Just letting. Now, as we're doing this, we can multitask. 2 hands. Throw in another 3 or 4 on this side. Get these guys ready. Right? And then you can multitask. Throw this guy in there and then flip it around. Now, the risk of putting your hand all in here is, a lot of people do use their hands, but your hand will start to just get really gooped up with the breadcrumb. Flip these guys around, let them get a powder coating, a little flour coating. So now, there's even a trick for people who want it to be more thickly coated. They'll do a double egg wash like this. They'll put it back into the egg and then put it back. I don't like to do that. It just messes up my egg wash. So the egg wash is slowly already getting contaminated with the flour. So best to keep it as clean as possible. Battered shrimp. Put it on the plate. These guys are making their way. And these guys are making their way in, and these guys are making their way out. And there you go. Tip these guys around. We're doing 6 at a time, right? If you're hungry, you want to eat instantaneously, don't do this. This is when you have your mind clear. You're not in a rush. You got your workstation cleaned up, you have your bowls prepared, you have your things ready. This is not for rush, I'm starving, I'm gonna eat right now. This takes time. This is where me personally, this is where I get my zen from cooking, like watching the meal come together. Drop it in. Okay. Again, give this a toss with your hand. Throw the crumbs on top of it from underneath and on top. Coat it nice. As you're throwing more in, these guys are coming out. Oh, you can actually bake these. You can pan fry these. I'm going to do this as a deep fry because I've had some oil that I've been using for French fries the last couple days. Here we are. Now while I have this going, I'm going to heat up my oil. Okay, so we keep on doing this over and over. If you need to add more breadcrumb, let's add more breadcrumb. There's no measuring rules here. It's just basically how it sticks and how much you need. Shrimp 1, shrimp 2, shrimp 3, shrimp 4. Okay. Actually, I'm going to put this guy back in. Put him back in. Okay. And then keep on going. It all depends on what you're coating and how much you need. And as I was trying to tell you before, you know, to do home cooking, you got to develop a love for it, because again, whether you're cooking alone or for your family, or you're doing something for yourself or for other people, when you're cooking for yourself, this is a time required for what it means to feed myself. This is going to go in my belly. I know exactly what's going on here. There are no secrets. Nobody has put in any additional, you know, preservative crap or chemicals into my food. I made it. This is for me. This is going into my system, right? You know your raw ingredients that you're working with. You know, you have a confidence in what you're cooking for yourself, and you know what you're putting in. You know what you're building up. You know what you're eating. You know roughly like what's involved. You know this will become a part of you. This is going into your body. This is going to yourself. There's a self-love here. There is a self-love here. You handle the food in a delicate way, right? There are some people, you know, if they're a little jaded, they've been working in restaurants for 100 years and they don't give a shit about the food. They're just kind of like tossing it around like they don't care whose mouth this is going to go into. They don't know whose mouth is going to go into this. It's not personal. But when you're cooking, there's a sense of, you know, it's personal. Ooh. See how it looks a little bare here? Let's try something. Let's drop it back in. That's called double batter. So the double batter is you drop it back in, give it one more egg coat, and watch what happens when it's give it one more egg coat, because I wasn't happy with the way the crumbs are adhering. They're not sticking. Take it back out. Prepare your crumbs. Put it right on top. This is called a double batter. 2 times. Well, after chilling out on my sofa for a little while and having a couple of glasses of wine, my oil got nice and hot. See the smoke coming right out of that thing? Anyway, I got my fan going, and the oil's nice and hot, but I have to turn it down just a smidge. It was super hot, like right over here, but I've turned it down close to the minimum. Anyway, we're going to try a little tester bit. Here's our battered shrimp that we were battering an hour ago. Well, it wasn't about an hour ago, maybe like 15 minutes ago. So let's try a little tester, and I take a little crumb, just a crumb about this size, and we see the reaction happening in the oil. Yeah, you see that sizzle? That's what you want. That's what you want. So you're going to take one of these bad boys and drop it in. So we don't want them to be unevenly cooked. So you want to maybe drop them into your spider. See this tool here? The mesh tool. They call this the spider in the culinary world. Drop a small handful of these guys. Look at that sizzle. Drop them in. So it's possible that the first one we threw in there, see that guy? Look at that. Look how fast it's cooking. It's cooking right before our eyes. Now, I put that guy there, but we should actually have a separate plate to catch our cricket. The oil is way too hot. Look how fast that's cooking. Look how fast that's cooking. Now, because I let my oil sit here getting hot and hot and hot by the minute, it's possible that what happens is that it can kind of overcook when it has that burnt look. And then it's not technically cooked all throughout. Now, shrimps they are tender little guys, okay? It's just a shrimp. It doesn't have a dense meat interior, so it technically could cook fast and cook well. But I'm going to put these off to the side, because I think I prematurely threw them in there too fast. We want to bring our oil temp down just a smidge. Just a smidge, because it might be fired up a little too high. Now, in order to do that, you want to take our food thermometer here. And look at that. So our food thermometer, we're going to throw it in and we're going to drop it into the oil. We're going to check how far does this go. It's supposed to be at 300. But this thermometer will probably only measure up to 220. It only goes up to 220 F. So look at that. Yeah, it's well over 220. Too hot. Well over. Whoa! Look at that. We're gonna break the thermometer. Let's cool this buddy down. Cool him down. Blah blah blah. Okay. Just want to bring that oil temp down just a smidge. Okay, we're gonna grab our spider. Again, we're gonna throw about 3 or 4 of these guys. 3, 4, 5, 6 of these guys. You want to do a small handful at a time. Drop them in. Now oil has dropped in temp just a smidge, but look at that. Look at that. It's this lovely little fry. Look at that. It's so lovely. Like it's cooking so rapidly. These are our little egg crumbs, right? It fries so fast. Now, it's technically 3 minutes per shrimp. Maybe it's less. Maybe because these guys are little, it can cook in less the time. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to do a taste test of these ones that I put in so fast. They were probably not even in there for 20 seconds. But again, when our oil is like piping hot. Oh, Alexa just gave us our timer. Alexa, stop. Alexa, set timer for a minute. Look at that. Look how rapidly brown these guys got. Look at that. So we're going to do like a taste test to see, or we're going to cut one open and see if it cut, like, look at that, look how fast it got. So, again, we might drop it in there for a few more seconds, but I just don't want them to burn, right? Okay, so say you feel like the outer bits have cooked enough because you don't want that burn look, but you want to make sure that they're cooked. What you can do is you can preheat the oven to say about 390, 410 with an oven safe plate. After you have them in here like this golden brown, lovely crispness, plop them in the oven at 410 for an additional 10 or 15 minutes, and then you'll know, yeah, these guys are cooked. Look at that. Look at that lovely goodness. Yeah, let's just throw them all in there. Throw them all in there. Finish them off. So, Alexa, stop. It's highly likely that this guy here, this is my first one. We're going to cut him open. We're going to see how cooked he is. Now, we finally got the temperature of this oil right down to the proper temperature, which is probably at 310. It's actually cooking quite nicely now, and it's not over burning, like it's not burning so fast. Alexa, stop. We now have a nice, good golden, it's not burnt, it's not black. This is what we want, a nice, good golden finish here. The right amount of time. The right amount of time. This is actually perfect. And I did a taste test off camera. I did a taste test, and it was just perfect. Just perfect. Not undercooked, not gross, not nothing. So here's our little golden bits here. Put this off to the side. I'm going to turn this off for now. Keep our oil so it doesn't smoke out and burn. Now what you want to do You want to take some regular mayo. You can take the squeeze bottle mayo. You can just get a jar of mayo, whatever you want. And what I like to do is I like to do this mayo dip.